Up to 3 estrogen patches today. Still taking the Lupron, 10 units every morning at 9 a.m. And by the way, 1 bottle was enough and will be enough probably for the entire cycle. So they were correct, they being my nurses, were correct that the 1 bottle would last me the entire time. And I was just a little overly cautious in ordering a 2nd bottle as soon as I did. So yeah, don't be like me and freak out thinking you don't have enough medication. In my own defense, though, I will say that did happen to me several times during my last IVF cycles. So I've been trained in that sense to be hyper vigilant about what medications I have on hand. But my pharmacy, I mentioned them once, and the reason why I've only mentioned them once is because they did such an excellent job, and it's been so easy. There's nothing to say. But it's Alto Pharmacy. The insurance that I'm going through is Carrot Fertility Insurance. It's more of a reimbursement program, which maybe that makes it easier in some ways, at least with dealing with like the pharmacies and stuff. Up to 3 patches today. The next time I switch to patches, it'll be up to 4 patches. And then I will go in for my pre-op appointment on Monday. And that is when I start the progesterone shots. I am very worried about the progesterone shots. I'm not looking forward to these at all. I've probably, like many of you, I've watched a lot of YouTube videos about people going through the similar experience that I'm going through right now. And no one says anything good about the progesterone shots. Almost everyone says that their butt muscle is sore. And like, there's all these things you can do to try and reduce that. Putting ice on it, massaging it afterwards, making sure you're standing as opposed to sitting down, all this stuff to try, like all these ways to try and reduce the pain of these progesterone shots. So none of that has really made me feel very, very good about doing them. And so my approach has been that I've started to add air squats to my daily routines. I just, whenever is convenient, I make sure I'm doing like 4 or 5 sets of air squats a day. I started with 10 at a time. So I would do 10 air squats and then, you know, go off and about my day. So I do 10 air squats, and then when that felt comfortable, I moved up to 20 air squats, and I'm kind of staying at 20 air squats. things that I've added to my routine that are kind of staples of IVF implantation, things that you should be doing, which I haven't mentioned in any of my other videos yet before. One of those things is taking Brazil nuts. So Stephen and I are both taking 2 Brazil nuts every single day. Thankfully, Costco sells them in bulk, so very easy to get a lot of them on hand. And they're quite tasty. So we're eating 2 of those a day. Apparently, it's a high source of selenium. It's good for thyroid support, good for building up uterine lining. And yeah, it's just something that a lot of people say to do, so we're doing that. The second thing is pineapples. Pineapples are high in bromelain, and that is found actually in the core mostly of the pineapple. So what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to cut the pineapple up to fifths and eat 1/5 a day for 5 days before your transfer. Obviously, you saw that the pineapple that I got from Costco was ginormous. So I cut it up into several sections, one of which I put in here with the core instead in place of the fruit that I normally put in my fertility smoothie. And it is pretty good. I thought about not putting the peanut butter in it because I didn't know how those two tastes would be together, but it's actually just fine. I am 5 days as of today pre-implantation. This is a fully medicated IVF implantation cycle, which means that they delayed my period. So I was on birth control, and then I was on Lupron, which stopped ovulation, and then I started estrogen until yesterday. Yesterday was my pre-op appointment at my clinic. They told me to stop Lupron, so I'm no longer taking Lupron as of today. And my estrogen patches had gone up to 4 patches. They're moving down to 2. I'm down to 2 estrogen patches. And today was the day that I got to start the progesterone and oil shots. And that is why I'm happily sitting here on my nice office chair with my heating pad. They do recommend putting a warm compress on the area after you do the shot, but she said not to put it directly on a heating pad because that can get too hot. So I have a blanket in between the heating pad and the injection shot. It's actually not even on the injection shot because the injection shot's pretty high up. But the warmth is definitely spreading throughout, so that's good. This is my first implantation ever. I really, really want this implantation to work, which is why I have been making as many changes as I have been. Obviously, the most important part is that we already have a fertilized egg that is healthy. That's the biggest, step in this process. But if I can help in any way I can, even 1% or 2%, just by being as healthy as I can and creating a space for implantation to happen seamlessly, then that is what I want to do. We have 2 embryos. We're only implanting 1 at a time. So this will be the first of 2. And the plan is, if, God willing, this one is a successful pregnancy, that we would then also, a couple of years later, implant the second one as well. I am 44 years old, and I have a diminished ovarian reserve, which is why we haven't been able to get pregnant naturally ourselves, and also why our first 3 IVF egg retrieval processes, unfortunately, were not successful. So that is what led us to using donor eggs, and we found a donor over the summer and purchased a cohort of her eggs and then fertilized them. 3 of them were mature well, 3 of them fertilized. 1 of them didn't make it to the 5 or 6 day blastocyst stage, and then 2 of them look healthy and fertilized and ready to go, hopefully. So we're really, really excited about this part of the process, really excited to be this far along in the journey And I think it's kind of reflected in all the things that we are doing together to make our house more of a home. And I'm really excited about all of those things. So like I said, I'm 5 days out from the actual implantation date. They gave me a new calendar, and they actually did post the calendar in the portal this time. So I have an electronic version of it as well, which I'm happy about. They also gave me a diagram that shows me where I'm supposed to be injecting. They gave me a demonstration when I was at the clinic, and there also are links to websites where you can watch the injection being done by a nurse online, which is really helpful. I started those today, and I will continue them until 10 days after my implantation, at least 10 days after my implantation. That is when I will get the blood test to determine whether or not I am pregnant. I've been going to acupuncture regularly for at least 2 months now, and I will continue those appointments all the way through the 10 days afterwards. And I was reading recently that it's probably a good idea to plan on continuing acupuncture treatments until the first trimester is over. I probably won't do them as consistently as I've been doing them. I started with 3 days a week, and then I added a 4th day, and the 4th day is on Friday mornings, and I really like walking to the clinic on Friday mornings, so now I'm doing 4 days a week. So I probably won't do them with that same frequency once I'm pregnant. I will probably drop down to a couple days a week. But the package that I'm on is an unlimited package. I can literally go every single day. So I am taking advantage of that as much as possible. Plus, it gets me out of the house, it gets me walking, and it's a good time to give you guys updates on everything that's going on. So I've really worked it into my routine quite nicely. So we'll see if I just keep it going. But acupuncture has been really helpful in helping me to adjust to all of the changes that I've been making in my life. Not only the hormones, but also eating differently, adding supplements. I stopped caffeine. Obviously, I stopped drinking alcohol. And just overall trying to be as stress-free and gently healthy as possible. And acupuncture has been really, really helpful with that. It also is a nice time for me to just kind of be quiet and alone and just center myself, pray, and just be still. Benefits layered upon benefits when it comes to getting acupuncture treatments. Highly recommend. So I think that is enough updates for right now. Anyway, the workday is getting started. We have furniture deliveries that are on their way to us now. And I've got some squats to do. So I will talk to you guys later. Yesterday was very cloudy and overcast, and I recorded a whole thing about how I'm not eating pineapple anymore, but I am going to redo that today because it's just so much more beautiful. Apologies if you're getting a similar viewpoint of me, as I've been showing up on these vlogs for some time now. Here's the building behind me. Like the visual quality should be much better. Okay, so the pineapple thing. So you'll see, I did a whole segment on cutting my pineapple and, you know, making sure I got the core of it, and then ate the smoothie, or drank the smoothie, I guess, and then had a stomach ache for the rest of the day. I have tended to avoid eating pineapple for this reason. I have had trouble digesting it for years and had a very unpleasant experience of a sudden onset of digestion issues in Hawaii, of all places, and have really kind of avoided eating pineapple ever since. But pineapple, as you may know, or may not know actually, is kind of like an old wives' tale kind of thing that's supposed to help with IVF and implantation. So if you go on Etsy right now, you will see tons and tons of cutesy little things that you can wear on Implantation Day or IVF egg retrieval day. And all of them, almost all of them, feature pineapples. And in reading about this, I learned that, you know, no one really knows why that's a thing, but it's a thing. Kind of, I guess McDonald's French fries are also a thing, which is weird, and I'm not going to do that one. But they think it has something to do with bromelain. So they recommend that you eat pineapple 5 days before implantation and 5 days after. It's said to alkalize the uterus, which makes implantation more favorable. So that's what I was going to do. But I cannot have these digestion issues for 10 days, basically. So I talked to my acupuncturist about it, and he said that pineapples are picked when they are not ripe, and so they ripen most of the time. If you buy them in a store, they ripen off the vine. And unfortunately, the process of them ripening off the vine leads to, by the time that they're ripe, them being slightly fermented. And it can cause like a burning sensation in your mouth, and as well as digestive issues. And well, I didn't get necessarily the burning sensation as much. It was like the back of my throat was itchy, and I think that is a sign of an allergic reaction of some sort. So that's likely the reason why, or that's one theory of why at least store-bought pineapples can cause people to have digestive issues. So he suggested that I just supplement for the bromelain instead of eating the pineapple. So I went to Whole Foods, my favorite store. I am their star shopper this month. And I got the bromelain supplements, but as you know, I'm already taking a lot of supplements. So I also looked for something, like I wanted some sort of whole pineapple, just in case there's something in the pineapple that's not bromelain, but you know, is something that we haven't studied or don't know about or whatever, but it's the reason why that there's this old wives' tale about pineapple being associated with IVF and implantation. Bromelain, by the way, is a digestive enzyme. It was hard for me to find. So if you're looking for it in the supplements aisle, you have to look in the digestive enzyme area. And in that same section, I found these little probiotic digestive aid shots, juice shots, that included things like ginger, pineapple, there's apple juice in a lot of them. So I found one that its main ingredient was pineapple juice. Second ingredient was orange juice, and then it has a little bit of ginger. And I bought 4 of those to see if I like them for the next few days that I am preparing for implantation. So I bought those and then threw the pineapple away. So if you are having issues digesting pineapple, don't feel alone. Hopefully I will have a success story for you at the end of this so that you can know that even though all the cutesy little things on Etsy have pineapples on them, that you don't actually have to eat it. So we'll see. But I feel better that I am getting a little piece of actual pineapple as well as the supplement that they believe is the reason why it works. So that is my pineapple story. It took me like 10 minutes to tell you that. And in other news, I am on my 3rd shot today. My 3rd progesterone in oil shot today. And yesterday's shot was a doozy. The first one was not that big of a deal, but for whatever reason, yesterday's shot was unpleasant, very unpleasant. Felt faint, and I really regretted the decision of standing up while I do the shots. So today, I have since changed to kneeling while I do the shots, because if I do get lightheaded, then it's not as far of a fall to the floor, because that's what I was really worried about yesterday when I started to feel faint with the shot, was that I hadn't depressed the plunger all the way. I didn't want to do it too fast because I knew that would hurt more. I just imagined myself falling to the ground unconscious with a giant needle sticking out of my butt. And that was not a pleasant scenario to be thinking about. So definitely didn't help the panic situation. So today I am doing the shot while kneeling, and everything went well. So either it was just a weird combination of moments yesterday, or my right butt cheek does not appreciate these shots in a way significantly different than my left side. We will find out tomorrow when I do the right side again. But anyway, those are my updates for today. It is Thursday. Tomorrow I find out when Stephen and I need to be at the clinic on Sunday morning for our implantation. This week has gone by so fast. It seems to be coming really, really quickly now, all of a sudden. But I am almost to work now. It's very loud. All right, so hopefully this is in the middle of the video somewhere, and I will catch you again later. Today is the day of my transfer. Stephen and I will be driving up to Margate at 9 a.m. The procedure happens at 10 a.m. And I got up early this morning, watched the sunrise. I've been drinking my lemon water, my hot lemon water and tea, actually. Took my supplements. I'll be taking my progesterone and oil shot again this morning before we go.
I'm supposed to start drinking water as soon as we're on our way so that I will have a full bladder by the time I get there. It's been a lovely morning. Very excited, nervous, hopeful, all the things. But I wanted to jump back on here for one last time, for this vlog anyway, because after today I will be starting my 2-week wait or 10-day 10-day wait symptoms. Yeah, if you're not subscribed already, definitely hit the subscribe button so you won't miss the 2-week wait video. I will be posting that no matter what the results are. I've been watching 2-week wait videos this morning, and you know, they're not all positive. They're not all, I won't say positive. They're not all successes, which is reality. That's life. So if you've been following me this entire journey, you know that I've made a lot of changes in my life recently to give this implantation the best chance of success that it has, that it's possible. And of course that makes me feel more confident that it's going to work. And so that is what obviously I've been praying for, and I've been making all these changes for. So hopefully the next video will be a positive one. But regardless of whatever happens, you guys are here with me for this journey, and I appreciate that. So I will not leave you hanging. So that's going to be it for this video this morning. Thank you so much for following along and encouraging me along this journey. I am hopeful for all of you who are watching this, who are in similar places or are contemplating being in a similar place sometime in the near future. I know your road has been long, as mine has too, and I cannot wait for your eventual success as well. So yeah, thanks for being here. For now, I'm going to go take a shower with all natural shampoo and soaps and everything and start getting ready to get our Sunday started. So thanks so much for being here, and I will see you in the next video.